amazing season in your Mackey Award and your first round win as well. We look forward to having you out here to Arizona. You ever been out to Arizona before?
I have not. No, this will be my first time.
What are you most looking forward to?
Um, Probably playing the game because it's not like we really get to enjoy Arizona for Arizona because it's a business trip. But yeah.
Okay, well, we're thrilled to have you. We're going to start off up in Idaho with John Westrow. John,
Hey Tyler, how's it going?
Good.
Well, just a lot's been made about kind of your versatility and everything you can do on the football field. So I just want to ask, what's your favorite thing that you're able to do on a football field?
I think being able to play tight end is my favorite because with that comes the different stuff. I feel like tight end in general, you're usually going to do a little bit of everything as a position itself, and then I have done a little bit more than what a usual tight end would do, but I enjoy doing that and being knowing I'm doing something to help out the offense in whatever way that is. Week to week is something I really take pride in, and kind of what my goal is each week.
Thanks.
thank you, John. We'll go to Rich Scarcella. Rich,
Thanks, Scott. Tyler, you're playing obviously your 15th game next week, and I was just wondering what kind of toll has it taken on your body? How do you stay fresh, stay healthy through this grind?
Yeah, I think staying on top of just recovery stuff, any little thing you can is a big help. And then it takes a toll, but you're kind of just in the groove of it and in the routine of the season, and it's kind of just, you're used to waking up and feeling how you feel, however that is, but doing whatever you can, during the day, getting in the tub, stuff like that, little things to give you an edge, but also understanding that everybody's in the same situation as you. So it's not really an excuse to have, and it's just something you got to deal with in this sport.
thanks, Tyler. We'll go to Tyler from Lines 247.
Thank you, Tyler. Hope you had a good Christmas. Wanted to ask about your running backs. We just had Kotelnicki on a Zoom call, and he said they are more effective than they've been at any other point this season. I don't think a lot of teams can kind of lean on that train of thought with their running backs this time of year. For you guys to be getting this play in the postseason from Nick and Katron, how does it set the table for everything else you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I think obviously being able to have a run game in any game you play is really important, and it opens up a lot of different things just because you have to respect more than one thing. But I think they've been playing great, but also speaking on the O line, and if you give those guys a chance to get their momentum going forward, that makes a big difference. And if they're getting hit, at the line of scrimmage, so I think kind of the unit as a whole has really been doing well. They're obviously really good running backs, and you give them 2 yards of plus yardage and they can get their head of steam going, that makes it a lot more of an effective running back. And so they've been doing great. And I think the offense as a unit has been playing really good. So it's awesome to kind of keep building up as the season's been going.
Thanks, Tyler. Bob Beeler from the Bronco Radio Network up in Boise.
Tyler, you're a unique player. How have you seen teams defend you differently? Like what maybe would be the widest range of how teams decided to play you?
Um, I mean, I feel like I guess I haven't noticed anything crazy, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I'm not really honestly don't look into it too much, kind of like after the fact. But yeah, I mean that'd probably be a better question for the other teams, but yeah, I just focus on my job, and I know what the scheme of each play we run is and what I need to do to either, make the play or get somebody else open, something like that. So I think that's kind of how I look at it, each game to game.
Thank you, David. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Melandra.
Hey, Tyler, quick question for you. One, how do you think you guys have handled the pressure this season, making the 12-team playoff and then playing that first game on campus, and now you're on the New Year's Eve in the Fiesta Bowl?
Yeah, I think every game's important, and it only gets more important and more urgent as Coach K says each week in the offensive meetings. So I feel like it's kind of how we practice and how we do things at our facility, putting pressure on guys in front of the team, whether it's one-on-ones to start practice, the tire pull and winter workout, stuff like that. So I feel like that's kind of where we build the foundation for it, and I think we've done a good job of handling it, and playing in well in the games when we need to play well. So I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far.
Thank you. Go to Audrey.
Hey Tyler, thanks for your time. Kind of sticking with building the foundation. We were just talking to Drew, and he said that like day one, day two of spring ball, you guys were repping 2 minute stuff. What do you remember about kind of the offense at that point, and how was it going at kind of at that juncture of the season when you guys just started repping it?
Yeah, I think kind of where we started, it seemed like it was complicated then. And then we're at this point where we're doing way more things, but it's still pretty much the same stuff, just adding more verbiage and getting more guys moving before doing similar things. So I think it's been, fun learning this offense, and it was new when we learned it, but now, we're all comfortable in it. And to see how many things we can do just by, making one little tweak here or there has been really fun for us, and it's been going well.
Sorry, I was muted. John Petishnock.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Hey, Tyler, I wanted to ask you about Ty Howell. I believe his first year back at the program was your true freshman year. What about his personality or coaching approach resonates not only with you, but maybe the entire tight end room?
Yeah, I think him obviously being a somewhat a recent letterman is kind of cool for us because he can relate to us on a more personal level, and he's been been doing some of the same stuff that we have pretty recently, and also him coming in. For me personally, he was a analyst. I think not. Yeah, he was an analyst, so that's kind of like a guy that you're more comfortable around. You can kind of talk and have different conversations with because they're there just to they couldn't coach back then, so it was more just like getting to know him and on a personal level. So that kind of helped me when he was my coach because I already had that relationship with him. But he's awesome. He's one of the best tight end coaches in the country, and I think the way he gets us prepared and if you've seen him before a game talking to us on the field, it'd be hard to not want to play for that guy. So I'm happy he's my coach and we love playing for him.
Thanks. We'll go back to Rich Scarcella.
Tyler, you've talked about you're part of the offensive line on a lot of plays, but you've expressed your faith in the offensive line throughout the season. But it seems like they've taken it up a notch these last two games against Oregon and SMU. What have you seen from your offensive line the last two games?
Yeah, I think we've trusted kind of what the purpose of each plays are and understanding why we're running certain plays and stuff like that. And I think honestly, just the more reps we like now that we're in the back half of the season, we've had more reps. So just getting those under our belts and keep building off of what we're seeing each week has been really good for us. And I feel like we're on a upward trend. So just being able to keep learning from what we put on film will be important for us.
Thanks, Mark.
Tyler, I wanted to follow up on something you just discussed about the offense back in the spring to now. You said it seemed complicated then. What was complicated about the offense in the spring, and what was your timeline for making it less complicated?
Yeah, I think it was really just kind of when we first got introduced to it, all the new verbiage, because this was the first time where it was a lot more just like wordy play calls and having like kind of telling everybody what to do within the play instead of having like one word that means a bunch of different things. But honestly, once you got into the flow of spring ball, so it was really more in the winter when we first got the offense, when it was kind of more of a this might be complicated. But then once we were in the spring ball and stuff like that, I think we were all pretty comfortable. And then being able to add to it has been really good once you get to that comfortable point.
Thanks, Tyler. We'll go to Greg Pickle. Greg.
Tyler, thanks for your time. You talked about it a few minutes ago, but I'm curious, what is pre-game prep during the week leading up to a game like from a physical perspective compared to what it was earlier in the year in terms of the weight room, in terms of the practices? How is it different before game 15, maybe compared to game one?
Yeah, I think, weight room, it's pretty similar. We still have our lifts. Obviously, the lifts won't look exactly the same or as heavy as before, but that's still strong. And then, being smart with reps and being able to practice like professionals and be able to do walkthroughs and get as much out of a walkthrough as you would a full speed period. So I think, having a mature approach to practice and having a mature team is really important, which I think we've done a really good job of in the back half of the season so far.
Great. Last one for Tyler will be from Tyler Donahue. Tyler, did you have a follow-up?
Sure, thank you. Something that Coach Kotelnicki told us earlier was that with the way Drew is operating and his input in the game plan week to week, it can make it more seamless. When you're getting, kind of opponents thrown your way during the playoffs, you may not have a lot of history and background on them. How big is Drew Aller's experience and knowing what it takes to deliver a game plan? How important has that become here in the month of December?
Yeah, I think it's very important. Like you said, it's kind of a lot closer time frame of kind of being able to plan for different people and stuff like that. So I think really, Drew being the player he has so far this season and our offense being able to kind of just function as focusing on us and doing what we do best and not, trying to do too much about specific schemed up stuff, just kind of trusting what we do well as an offense and doing that. And I think Drew it starts with Drew and the way he's been playing so far. So he's been doing really good, and I know he'll be ready and prepared for the game, and he'll do great.
Tyler, thank you for your time this morning. Again, congratulations on a wonderful season, and we look forward to seeing you here at State Farm Stadium on the 31st.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.